Recording in progress.
Yep, so don't pull your dick out.
Dick,
Nope.
dick.
Keep your dicks in
There
your pants while we're recording.
is. That's right. All dicks inside.
Speaking of dicks, did you happen to see
How many dicks is that?
did you see that you know the short I put out the other day of it was an older one of you talking about wanting to sell feet pics and all that? It came out like a couple weeks ago or something.
Yeah, I would say I don't think a couple days ago I remember, but vaguely maybe.
Anyway, someone commented that they want to buy feet pics, and they're like, "How do I do that?" They're like, "I'm interested. How do I buy feet pics?" So if you want to respond to the guy of how he could buy some feet pics from you, the floor is yours.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll look into this. I don't know.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that I just put it out because it was a funny little clip, and someone was like, "Hey, actually, I'd love to jerk off to your feet, actually, if you would let me do that."
Okay. I guess anything's available for the right price.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, so if you
in that one the one you put out recently, where like the thing fell and scared the shit out of me. I don't know what it was that fell or what picture. Did I show it in the?
No, you never showed it either. Yeah, I was waiting to put a clip in there. You called it, what was it? Like the dick and balls something picture, and then it fell. And me and Nick must have knew what you were talking about because when you said that, we're like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because Abby's like, what picture? And I'm like, I have no fucking clue. I go, I couldn't tell you. That guy. Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck was that? What just happened?
The fucking shit out of me. The eyeballs with the dick picture fell over. Fucking thought somebody was fucking clapping at my feet or something.
Clapping at his feet. That's so funny. Yeah, I had no idea either.
No clue.
But I was just watching random old shit. I was downloading more stuff, and I was like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. I don't know why. When you get scared on a podcast, it's one of the funniest things ever.
I don't know. It always got a reaction, you know. Whenever I had my toe pain.
Oh, that was the funniest. I think that was the first time because it just caught us off guard. You've just been like, just in the middle of us talking, you were like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, it was just a sharp ass toe pain. It hurt.
That's funny. That was the beginning of it. But
it was.
You ready to start the pod and start talking about Death Proof?
Yeah.
Dick.
I'm really curious. What did you think about Death Proof? Because I got a feeling some of the time, maybe not some, most of the time you were bored with it unless they were like doing car shit.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of...
Lately, you're not into like just the conversations in it, you know?
Yeah.
And this is a lot of conversations.
There was a lot of conversation in this. I mean, obviously, you could totally tell it's a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, all the feet.
Yeah.
Little cameo.
Yeah, he was there. He was the bartender. But I don't know. I guess there's a reason I'd never watched this before. And listen. I know I'm probably gonna get shit on for this, but it's not my cup of tea.
Oh, really? Like none of it was your cup of tea.
I mean, it was okay, but it's like I don't know. Maybe I wanted a little bit more of backstory on Stuntman Mike.
I would say, like, you know, the story bits of it is like some of it's neat. It is a little annoying. It kind of repeats itself until it changes with Rosario Dawson and them.
It's the exact same thing. Until the very end when they start chasing him. It's literally, you know, he stalks these group of 4, and then he stalks this group of 4, and then literally he gets fucking chased down and killed or beat to shit by the 3. And then you never get closure with what happened to the one that was left with, hey there, I'm horny.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like with Adam Sandler's buddy. Whatever. I'm like, whatever happened with her? And then
I forgot that actually they just leave her stranded out there.
And I know it was done intentionally, but it annoyed the shit out of me, like the little glitches and like the fucking.
Oh,
skips.
You didn't like that shit, or like when it repeated lines and it like changed camera angles.
Fuck off! I hated it. I'm like sitting here. I'm going, okay. I'm like, I'm probably gonna get shit on. But this is not it. I had to watch this in 2 parts because I struggled.
Wow, I bought it because I was, you know, I was contemplating it, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna fucking buy this because I do get the story bits and all that. It's very slow, and it ultimately means nothing. A lot of it because you just watch it for him slamming into the girls and killing them in all different ways, and then you want to watch Rosario Dawson and them chase him down. But the car bits and the stunts and like her hanging on the car in the end and all that, I love that. I do love the editing stuff with like the camera glitches and all that. That's just kind of fun.
Drove me nuts.
I did. While watching it though, I was like, "Oh, Hess is probably gonna fucking hate this."
Yeah. It just, I mean, I thought it was cool because it did look like, and then I think it fucked with my mind too because, like, in my head, it looked like a movie from like the 70s. But they're like talking on cell phones and shit.
Yeah.
But then they're driving like older like muscle cars. So it's like it was like contradicting itself. It's like, what are we doing here? Like,
did you have you ever seen? I'm assuming not because you didn't watch this. But have you ever seen Planet Terror?
That doesn't ring a bell.
It's from because you know how Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino are like good friends. Like they even like from Dusk Till Dawn, he wrote it and the other guy directed it and shit. Quentin Tarantino did this movie. He did what did I just say? Whatever the movie was.
Dusk Till Dawn?
No, but the one that I went with this, I forget what it's called. I literally just said it. But he filmed that, and they did this. And you know the girl that Kurt Russell kills in the beginning, like the blonde chick he puts in her car. Yeah. That actress is in the other movie too, and she has like a machine gun leg, and she's like shooting a bunch of dudes. So like they both did like a Grindhouse style movie and packed it together and had like a bunch of, so like it was kind of like a cool thing they did. I never realized either that this counts as a Quentin Tarantino like actual movie in his series.
Yeah.
I always thought this was just like a short film or something it did. So when I watched it, I was like, oh shit, it's actually like a movie.
Well, and I did a little bit of looking up research and
Planet Terror. Sorry, I just remembered the movie's Planet Terror. The other one.
Oh yeah, Planet Terror. That's what you said. There's 7 different versions of this movie.
7 different versions? Seriously?
There's 7 different versions. Okay.
Like, so available to watch?
When I looked it up, it said there were 7 different versions.
What the fuck?
So I'm going, wow. I'm like, okay, that seems like a lot.
I never knew that.
I don't know. Problem is like, so like, I'm like in training. They're training me on a bunch of new stuff at work. So I've been working like at I-17 in Deer Valley, like not far from you. So like I've been busy as shit lately. So like I happen to have like a 5 minutes where I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna like look some shit up, and like I found something, and I'm gonna look it up here in a minute because I forgot it. But yeah, there's 7 different versions of this movie.
That's insane.
That and I was like, what the fuck? But the thing that I thought was interesting, that Zoe Bell or whatever. I just spelled this wrong. I'm an idiot. Let's see here. She was in. She was in like another one of his movies or something.
I know she's Uma Thurman's stunt double. Then she's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for like a minute. She's Kurt Russell's.
She was Uma Thurman's stunt double in the last 2 we watched.
And then also, did you catch the other connection to Kill Bill?
The Pussy Wagon. Yeah.
Oh, that was
on the car.
I did not. I did not see
on the
that.
back. On the back of the yellow Mustang, on like the top left corner, it says something about Pussy Wagon.
Oh, actually, okay, I did see that.
It's very small, but I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, I'll have to mention that.
That's interesting though. So I wonder what that means in the universe. What the Pussy Wagon is, because this is connected to Kill Bill. Because the sheriff guy that's talking, Michael Parks, is the same exact character that was like looking over Uma Thurman in the beginning of Kill Bill and shit.
And I felt like that whole like scene at the hospital was
pointless. Yeah, other than like a little joke, like he'll never do it here again, and then it's 14 months later he's doing the exact same shit again.
But it was in Tennessee.
Yeah, he moved. Yeah,
but I'm just like, what is the whole fucking point? And like that the nurse or doctor or whatever, I'm like, was it just like to get her in the movie? Did he owe her a favor? like, or like, you know what I mean? Because I'm going, that fucking made no sense.
She's begging him every day. He's like, all right, you can be in one scene. Fuck.
And you love the movie, whatever. Good for you. I'm happy for you. This is not my cup of tea. But yeah, right here, it says there are 7 different versions available of Death Proof. It says the run times are 2 hours and 7 minutes, 1 hour 53, 1 hour and 54, 1 hour and 27 minutes, 2 hours and 1 minute, 2 hours and 7 minutes, and the original at 1 hour and 53 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna see which I bought it on Apple, so let me see how long my runtime was. Mine was 153. So is that the original?
Yeah,
that you said?
It says the original is 153, but it says the 2 hour and 7 minute. It just says here. I'll screenshot it.
Because I was like, what? I would totally watch other versions of this.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? I'm like 7 different versions. But one of them's like Japanese.
Oh, so just like some of it might just be other languages.
But I mean, I feel like you could probably do that in most movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, some of the stuff, I don't know. It
so
just felt
so like at the end,
to me it felt very repetitive.
Yeah.
Except for
100%.
when the tables were finally turned and then they were chasing him.
Yeah.
And then he got shot in the arm and like you would have thought he was like the world's largest baby.
Oh my god, I fucking love that when he's like, and then he pours the shit on. He's like, get it together.
I'm like, dude,
get it together. Get it together.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it would hurt to get shot. But
yeah,
I mean, fuck, 100%. The dude was like, you know, and then the dumb blonde in the beginning, she like gets in and like she's sitting on like a metal stool. I'm like, there's no way in hell. I mean, I know that he probably would just grabbed her and threw her in there anyways, but I'm like, there's no way I'm voluntarily crawling into a fucking car that has like a seat like that. Like, go to hell.
No, yeah.
No, thank you.
Right there, red flag. I'm not getting in the car. I think I would just start running the second I saw that little.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, this guy is gonna murder me in here. It just feels like.
Yeah. Well,
I do love that because it is almost like a little Quentin Tarantino horror movie in bits. Like that is a really good scene when he's leaving the bar with Rose McGowan and he's like. Yeah. Oh, are you going left or right? And she's like, right. And he's like, oh, fuck, it was going to be a while before you got scared, but you're going to have to get scared now.
Yeah.
That is a great scene. I really like that.
That was cool. And see, that was the other thing. I knew nothing going into this movie. I didn't know he was a bad guy. I thought he just literally was a stuntman. I had no idea that he was going to kill people.
So, like, when he started, like, actually being a dickhead to her, you were like, holy shit. And, like,
surprised by it? Because, like, I felt like the opening, like, couple like scene where like when they finally get to the bar and he's talking to the blonde and then like he recites the fucking poem to Butterfly.
That shit is so
and then
weird.
The lap dance. I'm like, this is like an hour into the fucking movie. We're still at the bar.
Because like I knew what was gonna happen, so like I'm like, oh, it's kind of funny that like all this shit's going on and he's just gonna rail through him and kill him and none of that shit matters. But so like I did notice that it's like an hour into the movie and he's like getting his lap dance, and I was like, I'm wondering what Hess is probably thinking. What the fuck is this movie? What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, because literally up until he showed the passenger seat, I didn't think he was like a fucking crazy run people over killer.
Not even by him having that. You're gonna be in my book, and you're gonna be in this fucking unsatisfactory part. That part's a little off.
A creepy old man. That's all.
I guess true. Yeah. I guess he just filed under that. That's where he's going.
Because when he said that, I was just like, oh, he's a manipulative little fuck. I was like, he's a little fucking pervert. I didn't think, oh wow, he's gonna run over and rip Butterfly's face off with his tire when it hits her in the face.
I also.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I can't help, and I did text you about this too. I can't help but see him as Fed Smoker the entire time watching the movie.
I can see that.
It feels like Fed Smoker loved this movie and loved Kurt Russell. He might have. And was like a big fan of that. I wish we could find out. We need like Tom Segura to do some research into that for us.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I feel like this probably is his favorite movie. But the funny thing I was going to tell you was that I texted you or this morning or whatever. I said, remind me.
Yeah, your story.
I was looking it up to see if it was available on any streaming device or service since I have like everything pretty much. But I couldn't find it. So I saw a link and it said YouTube. So I was like, oh shit. So I click it and it starts playing, but I'd never seen this movie. And then there's like that little blue kitty cat or whatever. And he's like, I'm like, bro, this isn't fucking death proof. I'm like, this is so dumb. So, and then like, cause I didn't recognize the intro because like some of his movies are like the same or whatever. Like, what is it? It's not Viacom, but whatever. So I was just like, whatever. And then I think Abby like came home. So then finally I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking rent it. And so I go back and sure as shit, when I start the fucking rental, it's the fucking, it was really fucking the movie. I was like, I could have watched it for free.
That's so fucking hilarious. Oh, I love that.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, dude, what are we doing?
I love that little opening cartoon fooled you there. You're like, oh, fuck, this can't be the fucking movie. There's no way.
Because I'm like, what is this? I'm like, this isn't it. Tarantino doesn't do this.
Oh, that's hilarious.
God, irritated the shit. I mean, so I ended up spending $4.35.
I spent 15 for it because I was like, oh, I'll get it. Which I was gonna text you. You could just log into Apple, but then you watched it before I did, so you already did it.
It's not a big deal. $4.35. I mean, isn't anything in the grand scheme.
So it was worth $4.35 for you at least.
I mean, sure. Hour and 53 minutes. I'll never get back, but yeah.
Do you know what movie's next?
Yeah, it's Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, I was gonna say I looked it up last night and I was like, holy shit, Inglourious Basterds! I'm excited for that too.
I like that.
I mean, not like he has bad movies, but it's all great movies next. It's Inglourious Basterds, Django. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that might be it.
Yep.
I think there's 4 left, so I'm forgetting.
There is 4.
Something in there that I don't remember, but I don't know. But it's also that means we're getting close to having to think of something else to do too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to do it. We could pick another director, just another film genre. I thought there could be something where we pick like one movie from every genre, each of us, and try to do something like that. We could have some fun with it.
The Hateful Eight is what you're missing.
Hateful Eight, that's what I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
That's one of his movies that I always do forget about. Even though it is good, I just kind of forget that exists a lot.
Yeah, I think we actually did a pod on that.
We did that, Django, and maybe even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, so, I know, yeah.
That reminds me, too, with you saying that. What's really interesting about this to me, too, is so right now in the Star Wars show Ahsoka, you have Rosario Dawson and Mary Elizabeth Winston in there, and then they were both in this movie together as well, hanging out. So I was like, this is so fucking weird. Every Tuesday I'm watching these guys dressed up as Star Wars characters with lightsabers and shit.
Oh,
and then now they're in a Quentin Tarantino movie that we're watching. But I was like, oh, that's so weird that's kind of relevant. And then also...
That is kind of weird.
When these movies came out, this and Planet Terror, they had like a bunch of other directors make like fake trailers that go on before it for like whatever horror movie or whatever kind of thing they wanted. And Eli Roth made one called Thanksgiving, and it was just a Thanksgiving horror movie. And now they're actually making that with Addison Rae, and the trailer for that came out today too.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, it's so weird how like stuff kind of connected to this movie is happening.
Is Addison Rae the TikTok star?
Yeah. So who knows how great it'll be, but yeah.
She's going to be in a movie now?
She's going to be in the slasher, Thanksgiving slasher movie, so. Hopefully she gets like stabbed to death, but she'll probably be the final girl, and we'll be like, okay, whatever.
I was going to say, in true horror, like slasher fashion, I feel like anybody could pretty much be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like that's kind of the...
No, yeah, if you're a bad actor, it doesn't matter
niche,
in that.
Yeah, the niche, because my father-in-law... He likes B, C, and D movies because of the bad acting.
Oh yeah, no. Sometimes that's so fun to watch.
Yeah, he just enjoys that, and I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, you're wired differently than me.
I learned you didn't like those when we started watching the Friday the 13th, and the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and the Halloweens and all that. God, I can't believe we did that many horror podcasts, and like you sat through it and enjoyed yourself through it a little bit. I mean, maybe not the movies, but the podcast at least. But that was a lot of horror movies.
We did do a lot of horror.
Is there anything else about Death Proof that you liked or didn't like?
I mean, no. I thought the final chase scene was cool, like the car
was
scene.
Really neat. That's really well done too. Like I don't know if they really were driving or not, but it looked like everybody was really driving their cars and doing all that shit.
Yeah, and then like the Zoe Bell is like she's like hanging on. I'm like I would have been trying to climb back in the fucking window.
I will say there were so many times they could have slowed down, and like swung inside the window. They could both people could have got away very easily from the other person and just only continued to drive forward.
I was just like, well, I'm like, I get it, but yeah, I mean, she went into an adrenaline rush.
Zoe Bell kept trying to
adrenaline rush.
True. She kept trying to kick his car, too, like that's going to do anything. That kind of annoyed me. Like 7 times she tried to kick his car, and I'm like...
I think that's just natural reaction.
Yeah, but like, come on.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do anything.
Don't be so stupid.
But yeah, and then, so like, right before it happened, the other chick, she was going to climb out, too, and Rosario Dawson was going to drive. She was like, get up here.
Yeah. I guess.
And then that's when he started. I'm going. She was gonna get on the roof. Or
what?
Like,
no, that would have been kind of fun though if they were both on there. Then he's smashing into them. That'd be good.
Well, because like I thought when she said it, I thought it was like they were gonna play a game of chicken. Like, because I'm like ship's mass. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was thinking they were like going to play chicken because, you know, the Rosario Dawson's like, I want to come. And they're like, you don't want to come. Like, trust me. So I'm like, oh, they're going to play like chicken or something. They're just going to fucking go like 120 miles an hour at each other and
like,
you know,
see who stops.
See who turns away at the end or something.
Smash into each other and kill each other.
And then, you know, they're like taking off their belts. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
You're like, wait a minute. Is this a porno now?
Yeah. That would have been cool.
All of a sudden, the third act of the movie, they're just fucking on a car while it's going 100 miles an hour.
That would have been cool.
Then you're like, wow, now I get why Jerome wants to buy this movie.
We'll see, bitch. And the restricted would have made sense at the beginning with a little blue lion.
True, very true. It would have all made sense. What'd you think about the way they defeated Kurt Russell at the end when they fucking smash into him? He's laughing, he thinks he got away, and then they're all just fucking taking turns beating the shit out of him.
I mean,
I thought that was kind of fun to watch, and then I love that it just like
woman,
the end,
woman power,
and then fucking healed his face.
Yeah.
I really love when a movie has great credit music too, and this had a really good music for the credits.
I didn't get through it. I didn't get through the credits.
Right when I don't know why. I had a feeling that I was gonna bring up this song and you're gonna have no idea what it was.
But for the most part, unless you tell me there's like an end credit scene, I don't.
Oh, there was one and like Iron Man showed up. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So like that, like going forward, I mean, I view it as your job.
Mm-hmm.
So like if we watch a movie, you have to be like, oh hey, by the way,
but listen to the credit music,
because otherwise you're gonna fucking be like, hey, did you see the end credit scene? I'm like, no, I shut it off as soon as the credits started rolling. The movie was over.
I'm seeing if I can pull it up on YouTube. Let's see, Death Proof credits music.
Credit scene song.
Oh, here we go. Oh, what the fuck just happened? Ooh, look at sexy little Hess.
It's been a naughty little boy.
Funny meeting you here.
Oh boy.
It was actually my computer didn't crash. I didn't realize it wasn't plugged in, and I plugged in my other laptop plugged in. So it just completely died because I wasn't paying attention to it. So yeah, but luckily I don't think we lost any of the footage. It should have converted it all, so we're good on that. I was a little afraid we lost the entire podcast. But
that's good.
It was weird timing. Literally, the second I hit play to play you the song, the computer died. So I was like, "What the fuck did I do? Everything went black."
Well, and then it was weird because normally, like when you hang up, like it just goes away. But my face was on the screen. I'm like, "What's going on?"
I just got like abducted by aliens, and you had to watch it live.
Dick.
Dogs are going ape shit here.
You ready to hear the music though from Death Proof credits?
Let's hear it.
And like it's that music, and whenever it does the little stuff in between, it's going back to footage of them beating up the guy or pictures of them and shit like that. Like it shows the whole cast. It was pretty fun though. I really liked the credit music. It wasn't cool enough to make my whole computer go away, but you know, whenever things happen.
You're like, well, you know.
I don't know, right as everything ended, I was like, well, fuck, I'd rather just continue to podcast than to fucking have to restart all this shit.
Right?
I don't even know how long we were going for that, so now we can just wrap it up whenever. It doesn't really matter. Was there anything, though, else about Death Proof that you were thinking to talk about before I ruined everything with the music?
I don't think so. No, I don't believe so.
Do you have any ideas or anything that seems fun to do after we finish the Quentin Tarantino movies? Like another director or a style, like how we did all the Marvel movies, something like that? Do you any ideas or anything like that? Or even a show? I'd be down for a show.
I don't know.
I was trying to think of a show last night, and it was really funny. I had a thought, and then I instantly started laughing because I was like, "Oh, there's no fucking way Hess would do that. What am I thinking?" And I was like, "Oh, we could watch something like stupid, like the Jurassic Parks." And then I was like, "There's no fucking way Hess would watch a dinosaur movie, especially like 6 of them."
No, I've sat through enough of stuff that I don't know. Problem is, I don't really know directors, so I don't know. Like I wouldn't even know which direction to go.
True, I guess I could trick it, be like, we're gonna watch all the Wes Cravens, and I throw a Wes Anderson in there, and you're like, I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. know. I'll have to think on it. I mean, if anyone has suggestions, they can toss
we
them
have
down
4
below.
weeks before we have to make a decision, so we have some time.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it's getting close. We have to kind of start thinking of
I
another
don't know.
one because we went from Harry Potter's to Quentin Tarantino. So like, it doesn't really have to it could be anything we want.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's like any like a series of movies or something that like the world loves and I haven't seen. I mean, which seems to be so popular.
Which we did talk about watching all the Lord of the Rings movies because you know them well.
Oh yeah,
like that. Yeah. So that's an option as well. We could do that.
We could go that route. Have you seen them though?
I've seen the first one when I was little.
They're long
and I fell asleep with it watching it with Macy and
yeah,
so I don't think I've seen an entire one.
I don't know how well. I mean, they're like 3.5 every fucking movie.
Yeah. No.
So I don't really know how well they would pod. But I mean,
it'd be a lot to talk about too.
Well, yeah, but like I think it's the third one. The third one's like the best. It's just like a fucking battle scene.
Oh yeah, isn't that until one of the Game of Thrones episodes? That was like the longest battle in history.
Yeah,
cinema or something like that.
Yeah.
I think I heard of that.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think of it. I'll look some stuff up and see if I can't find anything for suggestions or whatever. Speaking of shows, do you watch or have you watched? I think it's called The Things We Do in the Dark, or What We Do in the Dark. They're like, it's on Hulu, it's on FX, but they're like 3 vampires.
Oh, what we do in the shadows?
Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows.
I've seen a little. I'm not caught up, but I've seen like the first 2 or 3 seasons of it.
Yeah, Abby like loved it, and then
she's watching it.
So, well, she's all caught up, but like now, like when we sit down to eat or something. Like she'll be like, oh, let's just put on an episode or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So like we've been watching like an episode or 2, and it's actually pretty funny. I
really like it. It's really funny. Have you guys seen? Has she watched the movie? There's a movie of it originally with Taika Waititi, and then they spun that off into a show. So if she likes the show, she should check out the movie.
What do you know what it's called?
It's still what we do in the shadows still.
Oh, I have no idea. I had no clue. I'll have to let her know.
She might have.
I don't know.
It might even be on Hulu since like Hulu and FX make the show or whatever. But I love it. I also think it's funny. I never realized I watched a bunch of the show, and then I love Workaholics, and I listen to their podcast too.
Yeah.
And the guy Kyle Newachek on there, he directs a lot of What We Do in the Shadows, and I
nice.
Never knew that. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool for him. I had no idea he did that shit.
Which one is he? Is he one of the main 3?
No, he's like the 4th guy in there. He's in the show. Okay. He directed a lot of the show, and then in the show, he's Carl, their drug dealer, as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
If you've ever seen him on there.
I mean, I used to watch that show. It's been years, but yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of a bummer that they ended up not making a movie because I saw like an interview with Adam Devine, and he was like, we were like rolling and like
they were a couple weeks away from filming.
Yeah, he's like, and then like the rug just got like pulled right underneath us. Like he's like, we didn't even expect it. Like, so I'm like, that's kind of shitty. Like,
yeah, I think it's that's when Paramount's been losing a lot of money.
Yeah. I think I have like 2 more episodes to go on Tulsa King. I actually like it a lot.
You started it? That's good.
Yeah. I actually started it when I watched it on the plane. I watched the first 3 episodes on the plane, and then that was the only 3 episodes they had. So I think I watched like 3 more when we got home. And then I think I have 2 more because there's only I think it's only 8. But I looked it up and like it says that there's like no timetable for season 2. They do plan on making it, but there's like no timetable. So
is that because of the strike and shit like that?
I don't know. It's another Taylor Sheridan show.
Yeah.
So, but
he's got like
I remember
15 shows currently going.
Yeah. Well, I remember talking to Nick, and he was like, "Dude, it's great." He's like, "I fucking love it."
Mima loves it as well. She loves like every Taylor Sheridan show.
And it's funny because like he has like a slur when he's talks.
Oh yeah, because
and he plays like a mafia gangster, so it's like kind of fucking funny. So like, because there's times where I'm just like, but the one of the one of the dudes from what's that show? that was based. It's like they had the startup company in fucking San Fran.
Oh, Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. One of those dudes is in there. He like owns a fucking pot shop in Kansas, and like yeah.
That's interesting.
So, but
yeah, they were in that.
It's just the one dude, but yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So
I've been curious to try. I just never have.
Yeah, and then we saw a preview for the new John David Washington movie that's coming out. Have you seen that?
Is that the creator?
I think it's called The Creator.
That's another. There's a couple movies coming out like that are like that kind of premise-y, but like that looks really cool. I'm really curious how that is gonna be.
I liked him a lot. I didn't realize he's 39. He's the same age as me. I would have never guessed he was 39 years old.
You guys,
because we looked him up last night because we were watching. Abby likes there's this social media guy. He like breaks down like sporting events, like when they get in, like when the bench is clear in like a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
But like there was a guy, his name's Randy Arozarena, and he looks like John David Washington. And I go fuck. He reminds me so much of John David Washington. And she was like, who? And I was like, Google it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, holy shit, he does look like fucking John David Washington. And like, I was like, holy shit, he's 39. I'm like, I would have never guessed he was fucking 39 years old.
Yeah,
I'm like, he looks like he's like 29 maybe.
Yeah, I would have assumed maybe 30. 30, maybe 30, like 3 at the oldest.
But yeah, he's 39, same age as old Hesser.
Old Hesseroni.
Yeah.
Do you guys like orange juice?
Do you remember a while back you asked me if about that show Peripheral on Amazon, and that was the one with Cliggers, Moretz, and it's kind of Westworldy and all that?
Yeah.
That show got canceled because of the strike. It was already fucking renewed, and they unrenewed it on Amazon because of the strike, for fuck's sake.
Dude, this shit's gonna fuck TV up and shit for a while, huh?
Yeah, and like How I Met Your Father, that's canceled as well. Like so many shows are just getting canceled because they can't wait for shit.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, but that pissed me. That show was so fun to do videos on. The videos did pretty well too. It was a neat little show. And now I got fucking no Westworld at all unless I go on Tubi. Which, to be fair, I kind of like going on Tubi for Westworld because it's like I get my own personal Westworld channel. That's all they play, so that's kind of fun. But a lot of the time it's season 4, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, can we do a good season here at least? But
well, I mean, think of it this way: fun. One day, you could probably find them pretty cheap at Zia or something. One day,
yeah. No, yeah, I have
seasons,
I have
and then you can
first
just
2. Really, I just gotta get the other 2, but the other 2 suck, so it's hard for me to buy them.
Yeah. Well, at least if it always shows season 4, at least it's one of the seasons you don't own.
True. Isn't it just so unfortunate how much time we wasted on Westworld?
It's very unfortunate.
Like that is like, if you think about how many podcasts we did, that's probably like a month of our life, maybe more, of just Westworld. If you added it all together.
40 to 50 episodes that we did.
Yeah.
Over and 6 fucking years.
Some of them were like 2 hours long sometimes. Yeah. Some of them an hour and a half.
Which is wild to think that we used to do that long a podcast.
I know. Well, it's because all 3 of us would take notes at the time. So then it was like, fuck, we gotta get through all this shit.
I know.
But
I know. It's wild.
It's so disappointing. It reminds me of another
We wasted a lot of time. Yeah, it's so shitty. I mean, and that's kind of the shitty thing, like with, I don't know, like with shows in general, I just feel like it's almost like you almost always get let down with how it ends, almost no matter what. Like a show
very rarely not.
I mean, they're never gonna appease everybody, but I feel like a lot of the time they don't even appease like the majority, you know?
No, yeah, 100%.
So it's almost like, do I really want to start watching a fucking show because it's just gonna fucking end shitty and I'm gonna be pissed?
Yeah, no, I
don't know.
It is pretty. Like I can really only think of a few shows at the top of my head that have all the way through been good, and it's like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. You got like The Sopranos and shit like that. Like it's only there's only a couple that you.
The Wire.
The Wire is one of them that like notoriously everybody likes all of them.
No, I know.
And it's just kind of annoying that usually by the end it's just like usually because they're forced to end it, so they just gotta rush things or do things slightly different or whatever. It is annoying. I feel like there's too much coming out as well for people to care about it all too. So then that also makes shows get canceled. We need to slow down on a lot of that.
No, well, yeah, they're pumping out so much stuff, and it's like shit. Like I don't have enough time to watch everything I want to watch, and then when I do have time, it's like I'm overwhelmed. I'm like, fuck, what do I want to watch? And then I end up not watching anything because I can't figure out what I want to watch because there's so much to choose from. It's like, fuck.
So I think what was it like? By the time you get to Endgame, it's like 20-something Marvel movies or whatever, which is a lot. But then after that, in between that, while this like their phases that they've been doing, like Phase 4 or whatever, I believe is more content in that than there was in the 10 years they made those like 20-something movies. And
wow.
It's been like 5-6 years because there's like 7 Marvel shows, a bunch of like that's way too much shit.
It is a lot. It's a lot of shit.
That's a lot of shit to go through.
I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I don't know how it all works. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Really, it's not really work. I feel like a lot of that is starting to fail now because they just thought they could pump out so much stuff. But it just confuses me with all that when they're like, oh, now we're learning that streaming doesn't make money. Like, how is that not? You've not been learning that this whole time. It seems like all of a sudden this hit everybody. You think it would like?
Well, the problem. I mean, obviously, what I see, and obviously, I don't know anything. I don't follow like the TV world and like movie world like you do.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if people pay for the app, then it will work. But True. I feel like there's so many fucking streaming services, and then people have like cable or satellite on top of it, or like YouTube TV. I mean, people are going, dude, we can't fucking afford to pay for all these fucking streaming services. So like, people are
starting to be like before, where you like, fuck, I can't have all this shit.
I mean, like, I pay for Disney. I don't watch anything on fucking Disney. I watch nothing on fucking Disney.
No, honestly, Disney Plus seems like a waste for if you don't watch anything Marvel or Star Wars, like keeping up to date. There's almost no point in Disney Plus.
Yeah, I don't watch anything on there. So I was telling Abby the other day. I go, I think I'm gonna fucking cancel it because like I don't watch anything. Paramount Plus, I watch Tulsa King, which
Tulsa King, you're a new fan of that. That's your new go-to show.
I do want to finish the one with Jeremy Renner that's on there.
Oh yeah,
it's like King of Mayortown or something like that. Mayor of Kingstown, I think is what it's called. Netflix, I don't watch anything on fucking Netflix. I don't watch anything on Prime Video. Like I don't watch any of this shit.
Recently, I've been on Netflix. Because I haven't watched any of their horror shows on there, like the Hill House and Bly Manor and shit. Yeah. So I just watched those, but now that I'm done with those, I have no reason to go on Netflix anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Until another season of Stranger Things comes out, I got nothing.
What is that, 4 years from now?
Yeah, fucking Jesus Christ. So it's
gonna take them the kids will be 26?
I know. The kids are going to be, like, balding and 800 pounds by the time they get to this last season.
Hey. They're like, you know what? Let's just put Hess in there,
You're the new bad guy? That'd be crazy. Just keep it as a secret.
Yeah. So, you have anything else?
I'm all good.
All right. Well, we can end with my with an update on my car.
Oh, okay. Update on your car. We got interrupted last week.
So, I'm trying to remember. So I picked it up from the shop. Not last. Was it last? Was it last week? I don't remember. But I picked it up
last week,
and they said they fixed it. Mm-hmm. So, the very next day, I drove it to fucking Avondale to get the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, halfway there, it stopped working again, just like before, or it just stopped blowing air.
It stopped blowing air completely. It was not even like hot in one end, cold in the other. Now,
no, it worked. It worked great for 30 minutes,
mm-hmm.
and then literally no air was coming out from like underneath, like going toward your feet, coming out of the top, pointed towards the thing, or to the windshield, or in the vents.
Jesus
so
Christ.
I text them and I'm like, hey, whatever, and she's like, okay. She's like, Peyton had the basketball tournament that weekend,
mm-hmm.
so I was like, unfortunately, my son has basketball tournament. I need my car. Like, I'll reach out on Monday.
Mm.
So I text her on Monday, and she's like, oh, your mechanic is off today. So she's like, so you can't bring it today. And she's like, and I'm off tomorrow, so you can't bring it tomorrow. So you have to bring it Wednesday.
So you can't bring it in then.
So then I'm like, well, no, this is the week. This is the week. This is the week. The week before this. This is the last week. So I would take it in last Wednesday, and I tell him, I go, hey, I drive it for like 30 minutes, and like the air just stops blowing completely. The AC, like the fan, is still on, but there's no air coming out of anywhere. So they have it Wednesday. They call me Wednesday night, and they're like, hey, we can't find anything wrong. They're like, we've drove it like all over the place. And I'm like, so
we went on a road trip. It was working fine.
Yeah. The guy's like, what? He's like, can you explain to me what's going on again? So I tell him, and he's like, we'll try. So then Thursday, she texts me, and she's like, yeah. She goes, we drove your car almost 200 miles. She's like, we filled up your tank because we drove it so much. She's like, but we can't find anything.
What the fuck?
She's like, so you're gonna have to come pick it up, and if she's like, we can't find anything. She goes, everything looks right, everything seems right. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
So they didn't change a thing at all and just drove it, and it was fine.
Because they said they couldn't figure anything out. So I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. So I go pick it up on Thursday. This is this past Thursday, a week ago from today. Okay, so I'm like, I pick it up. I drove it for like an hour. It didn't do anything. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm like, if it fixed itself, fuck it. I don't care. I just want my car back and want my AC to work. So then Friday night at 5:00, Peyton calls me, and he's like, hey, can I come over and spend the weekend? And I wasn't expecting him to, but I was like, sure. So I get in my car. I go to drive over there. Halfway over there, it fucking stops working. So I'm like halfway to his house on Friday night, and it stops working.
Oh my god!
It was already like 6:30, so the service department was already closed. So Saturday morning, I fucking woke up. I looked up the hours. They opened at 7. I fucking left the house at 6:30 on Saturday morning, and I was like, I'm driving it until the fucking air stops working, and then I'm taking it right to the fucking
I'm gonna drive in circles
Honda
for about an hour, and then I'll pull right in.
So I drove to basically my in-laws, and it stopped working. I texted them, and I'm like, hey, it's doing it again. I'm driving it. I'm coming. I'll be there in like 20 minutes. So I get there. It's this past Saturday, Labor Day weekend. So I'm like, I get there. I pull in, and then like she calls out the mechanic, and he's like, this is crazy. He's like,
God, maybe they need to get you a new mechanic. Fuck, stop bringing this one dude over.
He's like, I have no idea. He's like, this is nuts. He's like, we could not he's like, we could not get this to do this. He's like, I have no, so I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go, well, like, how long do you think it'll take? And the mechanic goes, I have 17 appointments today. He's like, I'm definitely not getting to it today. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm like, my wife is at work. I go, my son is at home. So how am I going to get home? And she was like, she's like, let me go talk to the service manager, see if we can get you a loaner car. I still have a loaner car. They have yet to call me. So
holy shit, really?
I have no idea what's going on with my car. Yeah.
Wow. I think that you just need a new mechanic. I think this one dude sucks.
This is at a Honda dealership. Like,
That's
this is where
insane.
you're supposed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, dude. So yeah. So I don't know. Like, they still haven't texted me. They still haven't called me. So I still have a loaner car. So I mean, I'm not paying for it, but I'm just like, fuck.
That's
I'm
good,
like,
at least. Jesus Christ.
I'm like, what the hell's going on with my fucking car here, dude? It's fucking insane.
That is insane. So how many days total now has it been with your air not working?
It's been a while. I'm trying to think.
Like a couple weeks now, at least, right? Like more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I just texted you the picture of the loaner car that I got. But yeah, it's fucking nuts. I mean, it's a 2023, but
oh, nice.
But yeah, I'm just like, fuck, dude.
At least they didn't give you like a junker.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at your so back to Death Proof here for a second before we wrap up and shit.
Sure.
Just because I'm looking at your picture here in front of me. So you did say the time. So it's the Japanese version, the international version, the Grindhouse version, the USA version, the extended version, the original version, and then an approximate version. That is so weird. What is the point of all that? And also, this is a grind. It's called Grindhouse Death Proof. Why is there a Grindhouse version of it?
Jerome, you're the movie guy.
Maybe I'll Google something and we'll insert something here, or we won't. But what the fuck?
You can. I have no clue. That's why I brought it up because
that's weird.
That's crazy. There's 7 different versions of this fucking movie.
Well, maybe before we finish the 4 other movies of this, I'll try to watch as many versions as I can. And I'll keep updating us every week on how different the versions are of the movie and whatnot.
Please do. That would be sick. That would be awesome.
The Japanese one might be difficult for me to update you on to know what they're saying, but I'm sure I could do subtitles on that maybe.
I think it would be cool.
Although, that would be so disappointing if I watched in a Japanese version with subtitles and it is just the movie with Japanese voiceover.
But the run times are different, so you have to have stuff in there, right?
I guess that's a good point.
But one of the versions was like 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah. One of them was like an hour 13 minutes.
So I'm going, what did they cut out?
Maybe that one takes out the lap dance or something. Because that's like a 7-minute lap dance.
That was pretty long.
Then there's 3 minutes of her literally just grinding her ass on his dick, and you're like, okay, come on.
And she's crawling on the floor of a bar. I'm like, woof.
Kiss my pee-pee.
Oh my God. Kiss my pee-pee.
I'm like, woof.
Yeah, gross. Yeah, there's a lot of this that it doesn't matter and mean anything, but I do enjoy a lot of the movie overall.
Yeah. I mean,
do you think,
not my favorite.
Do you think you ever rewatch this? What? Because you didn't like Kill Bill 2 also. Do you think this and Kill Bill 2, you're done, you'll never see these again?
I mean, probably not, unless I find another friend who wants to do a podcast on.
You're like, in case for some reason I'm going through the Quentin movies again, sure, I'll watch them again.
And if he does, I'll just, download this and cut me out, and I'll just send it to him like, here, put this in there, put this in the video.
Just put, these are my thoughts. I don't want to say it again. Just put these in there. Fuck.
Here's my thoughts.
Any last thoughts before we want to wrap up this pod?
I don't think so. Come back next week to see if I have my car back.
Yeah, next week Hess has his car back. We'll talk about Inglourious Bastards.
We'll see.
What's his name that's in that we love?
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz. That's us. We're getting into him now in Quentin movies.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Maybe we could do some Christoph Waltz movies.
Oh, that would actually be fun to watch all of his movies, just not including these ones that we did. That would be fun because we get James Bond in there and some random shit like that. I know.
I've never seen a James Bond movie.
I think he's in two or three of them that we'd have to watch, so that'd be kind of interesting. But that's not a bad idea. I bet you that'd be really fun to actually go through.
I know he's in that movie called The Dangerous Game.
Actually. Oh yeah, because you brought that up a couple weeks ago, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna see how many movies that would be. Christoph. Oh my God, is this fucking true? I think this says 247 movies. Oh
There's no fucking
okay,
way.
that includes TV shows too. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. But it's a lot of shit. But
maybe we could pick 10 movies to do.
Yeah, because there's just gone right here. There's Muppets Most Wanted, Zero Theorem, Epic, Carnage, The Three Musketeers, The Green Hornet, Water for Elephants.
Oh, we're not watching The Green Hornet. I feel like we did.
I thought you were gonna say we're not watching Water for Elephants again.
I feel like we watched Green Hornet too.
Oh, I think we watched Green Hornet and got to Water for Elephants, or vice versa. Because remember, that's when we were going through the people.
Yeah. I know we watched it, and I'm like, wow, this is probably one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen.
You didn't
in my
like
life.
That one with Seth Rogen and shit like that?
No.
I had fun watching
I feel like
one.
I say that a lot. I feel like I'm watching a movie and I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen. And then I'll think
every single week.
I'm like, fuck, I watched fucking Water for Elephants. I watched Jurassic Park.
We've made you watch a lot of stupid shit. Although you never watched, did you? I don't know if you watched the video or not, but when me and Nick got sent that random horror movie that those people were making.
I don't think I ever did watch
and it had
that.
my name watermarked across the screen and shit for the whole movie. It was such a weird movie. It was I can't remember what it's called. It was making fun of so many different old slasher movies, and it was kind of like a Friday the 13th. And at one part there was like a lightsaber battle, and it was some weird shit going on there. But we had a fun time making a video on that, and that was just also kind of cool because they sent us a video or sent us the movie and then put our review on their website and shit. So that was kind of neat.
You should reach out to other small shits, see if you can get some like exclusive movies.
Yeah, there's an you know what we could watch for a podcast. I'd be interested in your thoughts on this because me and Taylor didn't like it, so I'd be curious on your thoughts too. Do you remember when we watched Wes Craven's New Nightmare for Idiot's Guide to Slashers? It would have been the last. Nightmare
not specifically.
And it was like him, and it was the actor the actress from Nightmare on Elm Street, and he was going after her and her kid. Do you remember that at all?
Nah, not off the top of the head.
Well, someone made a fan film like sequel to that called Dylan's New Nightmare, and it's the same little boy all grown up now, and it was fucking pretty bad, I gotta say. Me and Taylor watched it. The Freddy in it was decent, but it ended so abruptly. They made the Nancy from like the movies, like the actress Heather Langenkamp. They put her in like a psycho hospital, and I hate when they do that in movies because they just can't bring the actress back. But it was honestly pretty bad. I didn't
here's
like
the thing. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I didn't like it either. I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, it was horrible. But that would actually be kind of fun if there was something like that like say someone did a fan film Kill Bill sequel, us like do one of those. And
I mean,
like
of a movie I like, it might be interesting because I don't think I've ever watched a fan film.
A fan film or something.
No, I've never watched a fan film.
No offense to the people, but most of them are pretty bad. I have watched.
Do they have fan films of pornos?
I mean, I kind of aren't all pornos fan films, kind of.
I mean, I guess, kind of, maybe.
Like in a way, especially porno. I guess that's just porno parodies are kind of just porno fan films, right? Like, if they make like Guardians of the Galaxy, but Rocket Raccoon puts his cock inside Groot and something, you know?
Sure.
And like instead of him saying "I am Groot," he says like "I love cock" or something.
Good.
What do you think? What would an Iron Man porno parody be called? I get Iron Cock, but that seems like right on the nose, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. No clue.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Wow. So we have a couple minutes to wrap up.
Shit.
Any last things before? I know I said that before, but anything else you want to tell a story or anything before we end this pod?
I'm storied out. Football starts tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, NFL starts tonight.
Like legit football?
Legit, real football.
Nice. Yeah. You'll have to tell me whenever the Buffalo Bills play if anything good goes on.
They play on Sunday. Chiefs play the Lions tonight. Who do you got?
I'm taking the Chiefs.
All right. Chiefs. Jerome's going with the Chiefs.
That'd be kind of fun. Maybe we should bring that back.
We should.
Pleeka's picks at the end of every podcast. I'd be down to do that. I got Willow to watch our podcast last time we did it.
So here, yeah, and then you could just make we could do it real quick.
Do like those little cutouts like I did last time. Yeah.
I'll starting next week. I'll try to. I'll have my other phone with me, and we'll just run through them real quick, and then you can just pick real quick, and then we'll keep like a running tally of who gets more correct.
All right. And if the Buffalo Bills go to the Super Bowl, I'll do the Buffalo Bill dance. You know, like we've always promised.
I feel like the last 2-3 years you've promised that, and they've not done it yet.
Yeah, and it hasn't happened yet. Thank God. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it kind of doesn't happen.
But it's a possibility.
Yeah. One day, unfortunately, it will happen, and I'm gonna have to start dancing.
Probably.
But all right, should I wrap up this podcast and get us the hell out of here?
I think you should. Yeah. Seriously, fuck off. I thought that's what it was.
Shut up, bitch. Seriously, fuck off.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe to the Pleeka podcast, and we'll see you guys next week for Inglourious Bastards, an update on Hess's car, and I guess just
Pleeka's Picks.
Pleeka's Picks, that's what we're calling it. Pleeka's Picks. I'm excited to bring that back. That was pretty fun before, even though I didn't really know what I was doing, but I had a good time.
Yeah, Pleeka. It's part of the Pleeka universe.
Oh god, that scares me. A Pleeka universe.
Well, I feel like we've got enough to have our own universe.
What do you think is like the like in Earth 2 in a multiverse, like you like in the Pleeka universe? Fuck. On that Pleeka, you're the one that's really into like Marvel and DC, and you have to like tell me about that. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to watch Spider-Man, and then I'm really into Spider-Man.
You're the sports.
Yeah, and I'm into football.
Yeah, that's our probably. Flip. Probably.
That'd be so weird.
It would be
if
weird.
you could watch a multiverse other version of you podcast.
Yeah. It would be weird if like we could just like Freaky Friday switch for like a week. Like you do my job, I do your job. Like you enjoy like sports, I enjoy like podcasts and movies, and Kevin Smith shit.
And then we come back and be like, "Whoa, now I really understand you. I was you for a day."
Yeah.
How long do you think that would be fun until you're like, okay, fuck, I want to be myself again?
Probably like I would say no longer than like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 days tops, and then you're like, all right, fuck, I want to be in my own body. I'm sick of being at this other house. I want to be home.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We have to do it like a fortune cookie, like in Freaking Friday too. Go to some Chinese restaurant.
There it
I
is.
feel like it's kind of vaguely racist in that a little bit, but whatever.
I mean, I don't know. Things were different back then.
True. But all right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you guys next week for Inglourious Bastards, my little babies.
You
Peace.
big dildo.